Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about spark plug wires. So, spark plug wire is just a spark plug wire, right? They all do the same thing. They can't possibly be that much different, right? Well, you couldn't be more right, you couldn't be more wrong. So for the longest time, we fought with this car. It didn't matter what we had, a 352 or a 390 in it, at like 2600 RPM, without fail, it would start missing. Very weirdly missing several cylinders, and it would, lose power. And that was right at like 60 miles an hour too, so that kind of sucked. I didn't really know what the deal was. I didn't know if it was carburetor related, distributor related, I didn't know what the deal was. So I did some reading in my trusty old Ford FE Engines book. This took a long time to figure this out, but whenever you have a firing order that has two cylinders right beside each other, so on a Ford particularly, this engine here has firing order of 154, 263, 78. And 7 and 8 are right next to each other on the cylinder bank. There's those back two right there. And those fire 7, 8. So this plug wire gets juice and this plug wire gets juice right after each other. And the problem was they were touching. And you wouldn't believe it, but these things conduct their spark through the shielding. Especially these 7mm ones, these are just your generic auto parts store plug wires. And what was happening at that frequency with that coil, that strength of voltage, it was causing these two to jump into each other and ignite 8 when 7 was supposed to and miss 7 altogether, and then it would just fight itself and lose power. But after we separated the wires, it didn't do it anymore, which is pretty great. To test that theory one night, we came out here, it was nice and humid outside. We sprayed a little more water on it and it was completely dark outside. And we ran the engine with the lights out, and we could see everywhere where these plug wires and the coil and everything was arcing against something. And it was like a Christmas tree. And if you touched it, you could see it arc to your finger. It was really crazy. If you don't believe me, please do. I couldn't get a good video of it. It was too dark. The arcs weren't really that bright. But you could definitely tell if you put two of them together, they would start arcing together. And I think part of the reason why this is even more important today than it was back 50 years ago is we're running hotter coils than we ever have on these ignition systems, and we're pushing these plug wires to the limit. So, their stock coil, this thing maybe had 30,000 volts. I don't know what the original one is, but this Vertronics flamethrower has 45,000 volts, which is a lot of voltage. And, maybe that amplifies the problem. And then at a certain frequency, at a certain RPM, it just started cutting out. But as soon as we separated the wires, made sure it didn't touch in any way, and I made sure the rest of the wires didn't touch in any way, then it all works good. So, if you're having a weird, inconsistent / consistent miss, you might check your plug wires. Could be your problem. I'm just kind of sharing my experiences with you. Really hope you guys enjoy this video, and we'll see you next time on It'll Run.